Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah. Thank you for being here. Today I thought I would share a bit of my personal practice. So I've been feeling very anxious lately, and I tend to hold all of my stress and anxiety in my upper body, in my shoulders, chest, upper back, and my neck as well. These poses have really helped me in this last little while. They felt good for my body and for my mental health, and I hope they feel good for you as well. For class today, you will be needing 2 yoga blocks. Let's get started here. Come into a tabletop position, onto hands and knees. Shoulders over your wrists and hips over top of your knees. Hips will stay just where they are, and start to walk your hands out in front of you towards the top 2 corners of your mat. Let your heart melt down towards the ground. If you would like to, you can bend your elbows and rest your forearms onto the mat. Otherwise, you can keep your arms straight and really press the hands into the mat. If your forehead doesn't reach the mat, feel free to use a folded blanket or a pillow or a yoga block to rest your forehead on. Breathe here in this heart-opening pose. If there are any adjustments that you feel you need to make, if you're uncomfortable and you need to move around, please do that. And then settle back into the pose. Find stillness when you are ready. From here, lower your forearms and your elbows down to the ground if they are not already, and then slide forward, coming into a Sphinx pose. So you're lying on your belly, and then you're propping yourself up onto your forearms. Elbows can be underneath the shoulders, or if this feels like too much of a stretch or too much sensation in the pose, you can bring your forearms farther away from you. Lift your head up, feeling that the chin is about parallel to the ground. If this doesn't feel good for your low back, I invite you to bring the feet farther away from one another, perhaps all the way out to the edges of your mat. Press your forearms and your elbows gently into the mat to lift your chest up. Allow your gaze to be soft. and allow your heart to open up. Allow each breath that you take during this class to be full and complete. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. Lower down onto your belly. And from here, hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself up into a tabletop position. We're going to be using our blocks for this next pose. Come to a seated position. And then we're going to place one block horizontally for our head. I like to do the second height, the middle height. And then the other block is going to be for our spine, just in between our shoulder blades, right here. And so you'll probably have to experiment to see how far apart you need to have those 2 blocks. And like I said, I like to have the blocks on the second height, or the middle height. And then from here, making our way into our supported fish pose. So coming to a seated position with your knees bent out in front of you, hands are back behind you, supporting you as you lower down onto the first block. And then you'll lower down to rest your head onto the second block. You can extend your legs out long. Feet can flop out towards the edges of the mat. Or if you would like to get a little bit into the hips here, you can bring the soles of your feet together and the knees out wide. If you need to, you can come back up and readjust, doing what you need to get settled into this pose. So if you need to bring the blocks closer together or further apart, or if you need to bring your hips closer towards the blocks or farther away, take your time to get set up for this supported fish pose. And then in this pose, just come into your breath. Full breaths in through the nose and full breaths out through the nose. Allow your breath to guide you into the present moment. Perhaps you feel your heart opening up. Maybe you feel more spacious and more free in your upper body. Almost like there's more room to breathe. You don't feel as restricted and tight. Take a big breath in here through the nose. Hold it at the top. Exhale through the mouth, sigh it out. One more time, inhale through the nose. Hold it at the top. Sigh it out. Come back into just a nice, smooth, steady breath. We'll be here for 1 or 2 more breaths. Good. To come out of this pose, bring your palms down to the ground. Palms face down, press into your forearms, your elbows, and your hands to lift your head up. And then lift your spine up off of the first block. Come into a comfortable seated position. You can leave your blocks where they are, or you can move them off to the side, whatever you like. Bring your hands down on your lap. Just bring your shoulders up towards your ears and then bring them back down. One more time, shoulders up to the ears and bring them back down. Let's take a couple of big breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. One more in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. I really hope it felt good for you, especially if you are holding a lot of tension in these parts of your body. If you know someone who is also holding a lot of tension in their upper body, please send this video their way, and I'm sure they would appreciate it very much. Bring your hands together at heart center. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.